Starting off this hour's Des Moines, Iowa, Lori is with us. Hi, Lori. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm okay. I've been better, but I still feel blessed. How are you?
Just the same. Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Well, I'll try and make a long story short. I am married. I've been married for 5 years, and I went through Financial Peace University the first part of the year, and I just started going again this last week. And I have been carrying a very big secret about my debt with my husband, and this week I finally came clean with him. He's a very understanding person, but I see and feel that he's very, very disappointed in me, and the trust issue is a big issue. Mm-hmm. And I want him to come to Financial Peace University with me. I can't convince him to do that. He said he's very well with his money. He does very good with it, investing, saving, and the whole works. He says this is something that I need to do because this is my problem, and I just don't know where to turn.
Okay. Where was the debt from? From before you were married? You had just never told him?
It's kind of just built over time. There was a small amount of debt before I got married, but I will tell you I have 2 children from a previous marriage, and I have been one of those parents that help them out whenever I feel they need help. And after going through the Financial Peace the first time, I've stopped doing that for the most part. My daughter was sick today. She was actually in the hospital, and I'm at her apartment. I had to buy her medicine because she had no medicine from getting out of the hospital. So, I mean, it wasn't much, but I still helped her out today. And I'm going to tell my husband everything that I spent with her today. I'm not keeping any secrets from him anymore at this point.
So how much debt have you run up?
About $12,000.
And what do you make a year?
I make about $40,000.
And what does he make a year?
He makes the same, $40,000.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, there's never a good time, and you know that, to hide something, and that never builds trust and never builds a quality relationship. You're aware of that. And so, and this is tied to you medicating these kid issues with money, and it's causing that. I get that. And yet, I will tell you that while if we had to put percentages on this, I would put 90% of it on you. I'd put 10% of it on him. And the reason is he's absolutely no help to his wife. It's absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
He just stands back and looks at you like you're a roommate and says you need to get your life straightened up. This is his wife. And I'm not okay. I'm fine with him being upset with you for hiding this and lying to him about it. I'm fine with him feeling a lack of trust because of the trust was broken. I got no issue with that at all. That will take time to heal. But I'm not fine with him standing over the side for 5 years and saying, it's your problem, deal with it. That's not a good way to run a marriage. It's not a good way to run a relationship. And
I think he's helped in other ways as far as, he lets me do whatever I do. This is another thing I probably should mention.
Wait a minute, you just said that. Did you hear that? He lets you do.
Yeah.
I don't let Sharon Ramsey do anything. She doesn't let me do anything. We make decisions together about what we are going to do. I don't need her permission. She doesn't need my permission. But we have made a decision to work together and to make decisions together about what we are going to do. So I think you guys have got some work to do on that, and I think it's going to help your marriage overall because it probably is in more areas than just in the money area or the hidden debt area. I think there's more to it than that. So I guess you need to approach him and maybe maybe have your pastor and you sit down with him and you guys talk through some of this broken trust and some of the anger associated with that. But he also needs to commit to helping his wife, and that means joining forces with his wife to live life together. And yeah, that does include going to class because his wife's going to class. If he goes to class because he can learn one thing and you can learn 10, but we get on the same page, that's a good reason to go to class.
That's the perfect way to say that. That's what I'm trying to convince him of, is that even though I need the teaching, I need him to back me. And now it was him it was I, and now it's we, and we need to
Exactly.
work together.
Exactly. And you guys are really missing out on something here. And a good way for you to rebuild trust is not to have to call in every receipt, but that we lay out a budget with our money together, and then we stick to that budget. And the longer you do that, the more this wound in your relationship where you were deceiving him heals. And in our marriage, it's the same way, not from deception, but from stupidity on steroids. When I wrecked everything, Sharon didn't have any say at all into the marriage. I mean, into the money. And so, 25 years ago, I ran the financial car in the creek. And it took her a while to trust my financial judgment after that. And to this day, if we go into certain areas of a discussion, 25 years later, it's still a tender spot, but it's less tender this year than it was 5 years ago, and certainly less tender than it was 20 years ago. So, over time it heals, but there'll always be this question. And so you put in place promises that you keep and systems to, like doing a budget together, to be on the same page and to communicate and to trust each other. And that's exactly how you do this. Yes, he needs to get involved. He needs to get involved, and you guys need to be running the budget together, and that way you can heal a lot of different things that are going on in this situation. Hey, thanks for the call.